Hi everyone, I'm Anthony O'Flynn. It appears that one of, if not the greatest tactical error the awakening community is currently making, the freedom movement, whatever term you want to give to it, is the ongoing and continual focus on this activities or agenda of the cartel. And obviously there is the need to be informed about what's happening, particularly where we're at now in 2022 with the events accelerating and so much happening and so much events and information coming out literally on a daily basis now. But my point is that what is occurring is an ongoing focus in this light versus dark epic duel, epic contest between good and evil. Is that people who are putting a lot of time and energy and effort into co-creating the new paradigm, generally at this point are still having an ongoing focus on the activities of the cartel, which is basically means, or the effect basically is that there's very little focus on what is happening or what activity or what's going forward, what action's being taken by the awakening community, which means many people are actually just simply focused on watching the news, watching the alternative media, keeping up with what's happening on social media, all these things, to the detriment of their own ability to co-create the new paradigm, the new earth. And this is exactly what the cartel want. They want everyone to focus on what's going on, to be in this constant 24/7 news cycle, because it takes everyone's time, it takes everyone's energy. And at the same time, the consequence is that that time, that energy is not being directed into actually co-creating and moving in to create the reality that we want. And instead, so many of us are just focusing on the reality that they are trying to create. And this is an extremely important thing to start to get aware, become aware of in our own mindset for the awakening, because by doing this, we're playing into their hands in two key ways. The first one is that we're actually assisting them. And I see this phrase all the time, particularly in social media or when you're talking to people, are saying they're going to do this or you'll have to do that. And it's basically helping them at an energetic level co-create the reality that they want. And if all this attention and energy and consciousness was directed into co-creating the reality that we want, then we'd start to see greater outcomes. And the second one, which is as equally as important as the first point, is that it basically is a reflection of a state of powerlessness, on particularly playing into the role of being the victim. And this role of being the victim is often unconscious in the awakening community, but it's still very relevant because many people are having this sort of expression of, look what they're doing to us now, and look at what's in the skies, and look at what's in this medication, and what's all these sorts of things. It's all very valid, it's all very relevant, but it's the ongoing mindset that is attuned to focus the attention, and it's always fear-based, usually, actually, not always, but usually. And this means that we are in a state of paralysis of going forward and actually unconsciously wanting to remain in the victim state. And many people are stuck in this victim state, particularly since the events of 2020. Now, I'm not dismissing that people are suffering, people have limitations, people have all kinds of obstacles. I totally empathize with everyone for that. But the real rule is the 80-20 rule, is 80% focusing on the solution, 20% focusing on the problem. How do we create a solution by only focusing on the problem? And this is something that we need to start to address. Now, obviously, we do need to keep informed, because at the other end of the spectrum is the new age mindset, which is just bury your head in the sand, don't focus on anything negative, don't call anything out, just stay in a state of love and light. Well, that's all good, and there is some truth to that as well. But if we're doing that at the detriment of becoming informed, becoming empowered, becoming aware, then we're actually simply also, again, playing into the hands of the cartel from a different angle, in a different way. And in this way, we're just sort of allowing them to manifest what they are working on and what they are directed to create without addressing it and without taking our own initiative. And that's why there's that saying in sport, the best defense is a good offense. And the offense, from this perspective, is co-creation, is looking where we want to go, focusing on where we want to go and taking those actions to co-create that, because we need to become more empowered in this way. And this is another aspect that is really clear in this game, in this current paradigm, is part of the social engineering, the indoctrination, is actually to keep us unconscious or unaware of exactly how powerful we really are and how we can co-create and how we do have free will. And so many of us need to remember that yeah, there are huge forces that have got so much social, political, economic power behind them. But at the same time, we are all, with the human soul, blessed with this innate ability to co-create. And the power of the human soul is colossal, that we all have. And we're not using it enough, most of us. And this is really the call to action and the big takeaway from this video is that we do have the ability to co-create. We've just forgotten that. It's been indoctrinated out of us. It's been sort of, we kind of have lost perspective on just the abilities that we do have. So really, the thing is to move away from this victim mindset and move into this empowered state of co-creator, of someone who is standing up and someone who is getting on with their life and making a difference in the world where they can. Because single-handedly, we're not expected to co-create the new paradigm. It's a collective effort. And really what we need to do is start to realize this infinite capacities that we have within and this incredible colossal force that the human soul has and the human heart has, which is something that will be one of the great blossomings as we move into this paradigm shift in the ages of 2020 to 2040 and beyond, which is basically discovering this innate internal power, which we are all born with. It's our birthright. But we need to start to learn to play our own game. Thanks for watching. We live in epic times.